editing. Memory editing is the attempt to gain custody of reality by tampering with witness. Not witness in the legal sense only. Witness in the human sense. The simple, sacred faculty by which a person says this happened, and therefore can stand on the ground of their own life. When memory editing shows up, it rarely announces itself with a cape. It arrives as confidence. It arrives as correction. It arrives as a calm voice that says that's not what happened, with a certainty that tries to make your own certainty feel childish. Memory editing is not ordinary disagreement. Ordinary disagreement is I remember it differently. Memory editing is your memory is defective and it is delivered as if it is a service. That's why it's so corrosive. It pretends to be helpful while it removes the one thing you need in order to be free. A stable narrative spine. The shape of a real disagreement, a healthy disagreement about the past, contains two ingredients: humility and curiosity. Humility sounds like I could be wrong. Curiosity sounds like help me understand how you experienced it. Even if someone is angry, those two ingredients are still available in small doses. They might be reluctant, but they exist. Memory editing lacks both. It does not ask, it pronounces. It does not investigate, it declares. It does not seek clarity, it seeks surrender. And it often does this by making you feel as if the only moral way forward is to accept their version of events. You are offered peace at the price of self-betrayal. That is not repair, that is annexation. The core move is simple. The person asserts their account of the past with such certainty that your account becomes suspicious even to you. They don't just disagree, they overrule. And then because overrule can look ugly, they add a varnish. They might say they are just being honest. They might say you are too sensitive. They might say you misheard. They might say you took it wrong. They might say you're reading into things. They might say you're remembering it conveniently. Any of these can be true in a normal human exchange. The difference is pattern and function. In memory editing, these phrases aren't occasional clarifications. They're repeated tools. They function like a file that keeps shaving down your confidence until your memory no longer feels like evidence. It feels like an accusation. Why it works so well. Memory editing works because humans are social animals first and philosophers second. Most people would rather keep connection than keep accuracy if forced to choose. So when a relationship implicitly threatens, agree with my reality or lose me. Many nervous systems will choose agreement just to stop the pain. Even strong people do this. Especially strong people, because strong people try harder. They explain more, they search their own conscience more. They ask, maybe I really did misunderstand. That conscientious self-check is a virtue, the which recruits it. The virtue becomes the lever, and the method is particularly effective in fast, emotionally loaded environments where memory is naturally less crisp. Arguments, late night calls, multi-thread texting, alcohol, illness, exhaustion, stress. The witch loves those conditions because ambiguity is raw material. From ambiguity she manufactures certainty. From certainty she manufactures control. There are tales that can help you identify memory editing while it's happening. First, certainty without curiosity. If someone is absolutely sure about your experience, something is off. Second, the speed of correction, the faster the no, that's not what happened arrives, the more likely it is not about clarity. Third, the asymmetry. Your memory is treated as unreliable. The memory is treated as law. Fourth, the moral framing. You're not just mistaken. You're irresponsible, irrational, manipulative, unstable, or defective. The dispute becomes an indictment. Fifth, the repetition. The same correction appears again and again across topics, across weeks, across years. The point isn't the specific event. The point is that you stop trusting your own witness in general. Finally, the after feeling.